Over the last 6 years, just two things have made life in the US and Europe get more expensive faster than wages: rent and energy bills. The question is simple: who got hit harder, America or Europe? And which cost actually exploded? Let's take a look at a few simple numbers and charts to see exactly what's happening with the cost of living. If you think inflation is just a feeling, the chart in this video might change your mind. Everyday life is full of expenses we don't always notice. Maybe at the end of the month, you've asked yourself, where did all my money go? The truth is, without the proper management, even a good income can disappear very quickly. When we say the cost of living has exploded, everything gets mixed together. But today we'll focus on just two main pillars: housing and energy, the things that take money directly from people's pockets every month. Before we dive into the charts, let's take a quick look at the bigger picture. This map shows the cost of living index for several European countries, the United States and Canada. The darker the blue, the higher the pressure on household budgets. The lighter the blue, the lower the financial stress. This gives a quick view at rising costs aren't just a problem in one city or country. With this big picture perspective in mind, let's dig into where the pressure is coming from and how it shows up in rent and energy. Housing has always been one of the most basic concerns in life, but the relation between housing and income has changed dramatically in recent years. In the past, housing was a manageable expense. Families could save or take a normal loan and either rent a home or think about buying one. Rent was supposed to be a reasonable portion of income, not the biggest stress each month. Back then, housing was more a cost of living than a life crisis. After paying rent or a mortgage, there was still money left for food, education, and health care. Buying a home wasn't easy, but it felt achievable. Slowly, with rising land prices, higher rents, and declining purchasing power, this balance broke. Today, for many families, housing has changed from a manageable need into a constant financial burden. Housing hasn't just become more expensive, it has become one of the main sources of economic stress. Let's start with Europe. In many European countries, rent is no longer just a normal expense. It has become one of the biggest monthly worries for families. Wages have grown slowly, but rents have risen much faster. The upcoming chart shows how that pressure slowly but steady builds up on people's lives. This chart shows the rent growth index in the European Union over the past 6 years. It starts from a base year, and each number shows how much rent has increased compared to that year. As we can see, the line rises slowly but steadily. That means every year families are paying more for the same homes. From 2022 onward, the slope becomes steeper. That means financial pressure on families significantly increased after 2022. Some months rise slower, some faster, but the overall trend is clear upwards. Even small monthly changes over time put real pressure on families' budgets. Now let's at the United States. Here the story is familiar. Finding a home is harder and keeping one is more expensive. For many people, rent now takes up a much larger share of income. This chart acts like a thermometer showing how rent pressure has increased in the US. Think of this line as a rent thermometer. Whenever it rises, rent has become more expensive for average families. From 2022 onward, the slope also gets steeper. This means more pressure, a larger share of income, and tighter household budgets. The key point is not one specific month, it's the overall path, which clearly trends upwards. Even when growth is slow, it's still increasing. Every year, families spend more of their income on rent. You see, the problem isn't just that costs are rising, it's how fast they are rising. Now let's move to energy. We won't focus on why prices increase in this video. We just want to look at the numbers and charts to see what actually happened. Electricity and gas make up a large part of monthly expenses for many families. When their prices move, the impact is immediate in daily life. Moving from housing to energy, in Europe, electricity and gas bills have become a real shock to household budgets. Even when usage stays the same, the amount people pay has changed. The upcoming chart shows how that pressure suddenly intensified in certain periods. This chart shows the household energy cost index in Europe. When the line goes up in certain months, it means families are paying more for the same energy consumption. If these increases are sudden, household budgets struggle to adjust. This is exactly where real financial pressure begins. Now let's look at the same issue in the United States. Here too, energy isn't just a simple expense. In some years, it has become a serious stressor for families. Price fluctuations means household budgets are under constant pressure and uncertainty. The upcoming charts show exactly when and how that pressure intensified. These charts are based on official consumer price index data. We set 2020 equal to 100. When the line rises, it means families are paying more for the same normal usage. It's clear that gas costs had huge spikes in 2022. Anywhere the slope is steep, that's where real pressure hits families. In 2025, winters show higher pressure while summers are slightly calmer. The goal is to understand when and where real pressure occurs, not just stare at numbers. If we just look at these two factors, housing and energy, we already see the core of cost of living pressure. Before we even get to food, transportation, healthcare, or debt, these two alone are bending the backbone of household budgets. In this video, we saw how living costs in Europe and the US has risen, but this is only half the story. The real question is, did incomes rise at the same pace? In the next video, we'll explore the gap between income and expenses and see where the real pressure is crushing people. If you want to understand why so many people, despite working, still fall behind, don't miss the next video in this series.